When not to recommend embalming.
Not every situation calls for embalming, and one of the most important parts of being a funeral arranger is knowing when it's appropriate to leave it out of the conversation, because good arranging isn't about recommending more, it's about recommending what's right for that family in that moment. We talk about when embalming can be helpful, but it's just as important to understand when it doesn't add meaningful value, because that's what builds trust with families. And within your own professional judgment, if there is no planned viewing and the service is to take place soon after death, embalming may not be essential to meet the family's immediate wishes, where simplicity and timing are the primary considerations. Nevertheless, embalming remains a valuable option, offering reassurance, flexibility, and the ability to accommodate any changes in arrangements with confidence. In arrangements where the family has chosen direct cremation or a very immediate service without attendance, embalming typically doesn't play a role, because the outcomes embalming supports like viewing or extended time aren't part of what the family is asking for. There are also situations where families have a clear preference not to proceed with embalming. That might be for personal, cultural, or religious reasons, and in those cases, the arranger's role isn't to challenge that decision but to support it, while making sure the family understands any practical implications. It's about respect, first and foremost. A helpful way to think about it is this: if embalming doesn't enable something the family actually wants, like more time, a viewing, or a certain type of service, then it may not be necessary to recommend it. This keeps your approach aligned with outcomes, not routine. And when it's not needed, that can be communicated simply and clearly.
Based on what you've told me, embalming wouldn't be necessary for the type of service you're planning.
That reassurance can be just as important as any recommendation. So knowing when not to recommend embalming is just as important as knowing when to bring it in, because appropriate guidance builds confidence, and that's what families rely on most. That's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Keep tuning in for more.